San Antonio has a celebration every spring that completely takes over the city, and if you've never experienced Fiesta, it's unlike anything else. From parades and medals to food, music, and community events across the city, Fiesta brings San Antonio together like nothing else. I'm Lauren. This is Raul with the Schrader Group. For someone who has never experienced Fiesta before, what exactly is it?
Yeah, so it's San Antonio's largest celebration. It's really, really cool. The whole idea, the concept behind it was to celebrate the heroes of the Battle of the Alamo and the Battle of San Jacinto, founded in 1891. It was a group of women that came together and they had the actual first parade that we had, which is the day parade, the Battle of Flowers, which is one of the largest ones in the nation. What's really cool about all that is it's all happening downtown and actually across the city, not the parade itself, but all the events that happen. There's over 100 events.
Well,
They go downtown. It's between 10, 11 days, depending on the year. Sometimes it's 11 days, but there's food, there's community. The biggest part about this is not just one event, it's all organizations coming together and it's a lot of nonprofits. So a lot of this has to give back to the community and give back to everyone that, supports San Antonio.
that's so awesome. What makes Fiesta so unique compared to other festivals?
Yeah, so we just hit on it, right? There's a lot of nonprofits, 100 events, but it's community driven. So it's a lot of people that grew up in San Antonio that just want to give back. There's a ton of programs out there that each one of these events is spearheaded to, whether it's scholarships, whether it's giving back, whether it's raising of libraries, all kinds of different things that happen. But people attend Fiesta events, so there's not just having a good time because that's part of it,
Mhm.
but you're also supporting a good cause.
What are some of the traditions people normally look forward to every year?
Yeah, so there's a lot of big events that I think everyone has a staple on. One of them that is really great is we have the river downtown, right? And then we have a river parade. So there's a whole bunch of barges that are going. It starts on a Monday, rain or shine, it happens. So you see a lot of organizations going up and down, and the whole river's filled with people. That's a fun event. And then of course we have the two parades. We have the Battle of Flowers and the Flambeau. The Battle of Flowers is what originated Fiesta, right? It's during the day, so you get a lot of schools involvement. You get a lot of bands that come across the state to kind of participate, but it's a really cool event to kind of get organizations out there and kind of show their pride, if you will. And then we had the Flambeau Parade, which is America's largest illuminated parade. I mean, there is so much brightness and LEDs and all kinds of stuff. A lot of popped off cannons and things like that with cascarones and confetti. A lot of music, a lot of food. If you love food, chicken on a stick is a must-have. That's kind of like the staple. If you don't have a chicken on a stick, you're doing it wrong. Then you got the turkey legs, you got the gorditas, just a whole bunch of things that you can do. And medals. Every business nowadays participates in some sort of fashion because it's like the cool thing to do is get a medal, or when the people are on the parade route, handing out medals, handing out wristbands, handing out things like that. Kids love it. But yeah, those are just some of the fun stuff that happens.
So you've had a special connection with Fiesta through Rey Feo. Can
Mhm.
you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so originally Rey Feo is the ugly king, right? So if you go back to his origins back in the Spain, all the kings that everyone always created a court and they always lived amongst their ivory towers and everything like that. So the people decided to have their own kind of spin-off and they elected somebody, and that's just kind of how it all transpired. And when it came over to the States, back in 1947, when it was created with the LULAC Council, they created that event. My grandfather was actually Rey Feo number 25 back in 82, 83 campaign before it was actually considered an official Fiesta organization. Now we are just doing so many great things.
Mm.
I actually sit on the board of directors for Rey Feo now, and I'm a huge a part of all the process. But the main thing about that is we give scholarships to high school students, right? So if you're going to be a senior, you can apply. It's a 4-year, 2-year, and we're also doing trade scholarships now. So the forgotten art of welders, plumbers, electricians. I mean, we're able to give those trade scholarships to people that have a choice to say, hey, maybe school's not for me, but now the trades are, because if we look at it, there's a age gap. With trades here in town and across the nation at being 55 now. So we're not backbone as much. So just being able to give support to that. We've given, millions and millions of dollars to these organizations, but it's a great way to come together. We always say it's always about your time, talent, or treasure, right? Because I think everyone could give in some sort of capacity, but the main thing is partying with the purpose. When you look at Fiesta as a whole, I mean, we raised $340 million as a whole organization
Wow.
to give back to the community. So the money just doesn't come in one pocket and go to something else. It comes in and it's reinvested in the community, and I think that's what's really good about what the Rey Feo organization does, along with all the other hundreds of nonprofits. The Fiesta Commission, everyone that's a part of that, it's just a really good organization to show what San Antonio is all about.
That's so awesome. Why do you think Fiesta means so much to the people in San Antonio?
Well, if you've been raised here, that's what you know. You know,
Mhm.
sometimes, most of the time in April, the weather's pretty good, so we want to go outside. And if you really think about it, historically, the San Antonio Spurs have done really, really good. And normally during that April timeline, we're in the playoffs and stuff like that. So there's just an extra buzz. We might actually have an extra buzz this year because we're doing pretty darn good. But I think it's one of those things that brings the families out. And it's not just like, oh, you can't get in because you're underage at these events. It's kind of inclusive. There's events that happen all over the city. I mean, you could start from one end and go all the way to the next. There's a lot of history that's brought into it, a lot of military. We're Military City USA, so we have a lot of military brand ambassadors that come together to kind of show why that support is so important and so special to us. But it really brings all the culture together. You have great music. If you go to Niosa, you have like 12 different stations of different types of music, which is really, really nice. I mean, there's just so much for everybody. It's just one of those special times of the year that, bring people together.
So, if someone was to experience Fiesta for the first time, what should they know?
I think you got to plan ahead for sure because you want to be able to maximize. Most of this stuff happens downtown. So you want to get there early and get online, buy your tickets. That's a lot easier than waiting in lines. Everything's going digital now. So, I mean, you don't have to buy a whole bunch of tickets and hand them out. You're buying them through the app and then you're going through it. It skips the line, which makes you get in and start enjoying stuff. If it was me, now this is one of my biggest and favorite events I've ever done and continue to do. Oyster Bake's a really good one. And then obviously the parades, obviously the River Parade, Flambeau, Battle of Flowers. There's a lot of stuff, Fiesta de los Reyes, which is downtown as well, Market Square area. That's a great venue to where you can hear good music and hear bands underneath the bridges, things of that nature. But yeah, plan ahead, wear comfortable shoes. I think that's a big plus. And sometimes think about Ubering because we want to be safe and make sure that we're not driving with any kind of other purpose and, take it safe and be easy. Be as running in and out of the city too. So there's just a lot of great ways to get ahead of the game.
Yeah, definitely. Fiesta is one of the things that makes San Antonio so special. And if you've never experienced it, you should definitely try it out.
And if you're looking for some recommendations or suggestions, give us a buzz. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a blessed day and we'll talk to you soon.